Hi there and welcome back. I'm Sharmen Kimbrough. We are talking about narcissistic victim syndrome and trying to identify some of the ways in which to break free of a narcissist and begin to heal. One of the things I notice the most as a presenting factor when a client comes into my office, having lived under the oppression of a narcissist for so long, is that they come to therapy because they are no longer able to cope with life. They can't think, they don't feel, they have no discernment, they're just scrambling and lost, and they know something is very, very wrong, even though a lot of the times they are totally unable to put their finger on what that is. And today I want to talk a little bit more about how to detach from the narcissist and start to gain some of your own footing and healing in the process. I know that when you come looking for therapy or counseling or coaching, that it is because you are no longer able to cope with life yourself. And a big part of that is because you've spent so much time being told that you are stupid, that you can't trust what you think, you can't trust your memories, and that what you are feeling is ridiculous. So finding your way out of this place really means starting with learning to trust yourself again, learning to listen to yourself again, and learning to just believe that what you feel and what you think and even your opinions and your personality it's valid, that it does not have to be dependent upon the narcissist telling you what to do, what to think, and how to feel. So last time I left you with a straightforward, I called it simple, but I know it's not simple, a straightforward exercise just to begin to start to feel your heart again, to find your heart again. And that was to take the time to sit and think through every way you believe you've been harmed, no matter what anyone else says about it. And I made the point to do it where no one was looking over your shoulder and you didn't have to be afraid who would see it, because I really want you to be as honest as you can, to be as real as you can, to really get in touch with your heart. Because your hurts are so real, much easier to see than your joys right now, it's a way of just getting in touch with the real, deep you, the core part of you that's your heart, the dreams, the hopes, the desires, the personality, your heart. We want to get in touch with that. And so in naming all of these things, all of these ways, it gives you a way of just beginning to see what did hurt and why did it hurt. Was it true? Is it something that I can change? Is it something that I'm really to blame for? So you can look at all of those aspects of it, and then that's where therapy begins. So if I was walking alongside you, this is what I would do. First of all, I have you naming the hurt and acknowledging it as real. I don't want you to have to sit in the pain. I don't want you to have to relive it. I want you just to acknowledge that it was real. It really did hurt. The reason for that is because the narcissist in your life probably told you that you were stupid, that hurt was blown out of proportion, that it wasn't real, or that they didn't mean it. Really minimizing, trivializing, denying all of this in you. I want you to acknowledge that it really was real, that that's really what your heart said of it. So that's the first step. The second step is to assign appropriate blame. And what that means is when you look at this hurt, I want you to look at really who caused the hurt. Someone who is purposely harming someone else and not taking any responsibility for it at all will tell you that you made him do it, or that you're so stupid he had to, or any number of things that get you to feel like it was your fault. For whatever reason, you deserved this. So you are really to blame. The problem with that is you don't control his behavior. He controls his behavior. So the ways you've been hurt that have been a result of his behavior towards you, the blame is on him. No matter what he says, you can't make him do anything. So for him to have done it, that's his responsibility. So as you're looking at these hurts, I want you to identify the ways that you have taken responsibility for something that he did, rather than letting him take responsibility and then switch it. Purposely make yourself intentionally assign the blame where it goes. A good example of this is if you have been raped. If you have been raped, you feel a lot of shame and blame. You feel like for some reason you must have deserved it. If you'd have just dressed better or act better or something, it wouldn't have happened. The thing is, though, you didn't make him do that to you. He took advantage of you. He did that. There is no reason ever for anybody to do that to someone else. So the blame is on him. The responsibility is on him. If you have other instances that look like that, put the blame where it goes. That starts to release you from that responsibility of trying to fix what was broken by someone else. You can't fix what he broke. It's not your responsibility. You can't make there be trust. You can't make there be renewed hope. You cannot fix what he broke. That is his responsibility. So that's one of the things that you're going to work out as you're working through your journal. So the other thing you want to be watching for is breaking agreements. And that means anywhere you are believing a false assumption or a lie that has been told to you. You have agreed with this false assumption or you have agreed with this lie told about you. I want you to break it. And you do that by getting a hold of what truth is and making sure that you are standing on truth and not the lie. For example, truth in Christ is that we are valuable, that we are made in his image, that we are beautiful, that he loves us no matter what. That's truth. So anywhere you've been told that you are not valuable, even if it's just been the indirect message he's given you, that you are not valuable or you are not beautiful or you are worthless, any of those things that contradict what is true, hang your hat on what is true and break agreements with the things that are false. Another thing you have to do, the fourth thing you have to do, is grieve the losses. There are so many losses in those hurts and disappointments that can never, ever be repaid. So much that you'll never, ever be able to get back the time, the days away, the broken relationships, the bruises, the damage. He cannot make recompense for the words that he said or the ways he has belittled you or the time he has spent with another woman or, all of this grief. It's still real and you have to grieve it, understanding that he can't pay those things back. They are losses and now they're scars that make up who you are. They're part of your story. But they don't define your future, and that's the part I want you to really grasp a hold of. And then as you're working through those 4 steps, the 5th thing is to define a new direction. This is stating, this is where I am now. That's where I want to go. How do I get there? And then sit down and look at what it would take to get there. What kind of obstacles do you have to overcome? What kind of skills do you need to learn? What kind of boundaries do you need to put into place? What ways do you need to start doing things differently so that you can end up much closer to that person you want to be rather than the person you've been? And the other important part is to have a counselor walk alongside you to help you see your way through this. It is a long process. Make sure you get the accountability of a mentor, a counselor, a pastor, a really good friend that you trust who can walk alongside you and help you think through this and provide that accountability for you to keep doing what you're doing, headed the direction you're going, so you don't just fall back into old patterns of relating, because that's what you practiced for so long. That's what was easy. That gives you something a little bit more to think about as you're identifying the ways you've been harmed. It gives you some context for how to begin to think differently, how to begin to trust yourself and listen to yourself, and that will spill over into being able to relate differently with the narcissist in your life. If you would like one of us to come alongside you and help you navigate this, we would love to. Here's our contact information. You can call us, you can email us, and find yourself headed a new direction on a new path. Thanks for taking the time to stop by today. I hope that I've been able to speak some hope and some life into your day today.